Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the English Hub podcast. I'm Anna.
And I'm Alex. Today, we're diving into a super practical topic: how to write effective emails in English.
Emails are such a big part of our daily communication, whether for work, school, or personal use. But they can be tricky to get right, especially if English isn't your first language.
Exactly. So, let's break it down into easy-to-follow steps to help you craft clear, professional, and effective emails. Ready to get started, Anna?
Absolutely, Alex. Let's jump in.
Segment 1. The importance of a clear subject line.
First up, let's talk about the subject line. It's the first thing the recipient sees and can make or break whether your email gets opened.
That's right. A good subject line should be concise and informative. For example, instead of just saying meeting, you could say team meeting on Friday at 10 a.m.
Yes, and it should give the recipient a clear idea of what the email is about without being too vague or too detailed. Have you ever received emails with poor subject lines, Alex?
Oh, definitely. I've seen subject lines like important or hello, which don't tell me anything useful. It's frustrating because you have no idea what to expect.
Exactly. It's all about making it easier for the recipient to understand the purpose of your email at a glance. Any other tips for subject lines?
Keep it short. About 6 to 10 words is ideal. Avoid using all caps or too many exclamation points, as they can come across as aggressive or unprofessional.
Great advice. And let's not forget to make it relevant to the content of the email. Now, let's move on to the next part: greetings.
Segment 2. Proper greeting. The way you start your email sets the tone for the rest of your message. For formal emails, "Dear name" is usually the safest bet.
And for informal emails, you can use "Hi Ahmad" or "Hello John." It's always better to err on the side of formality if you're unsure.
Absolutely. And make sure to check the spelling of the recipient's name. It shows respect and attention to detail.
Nothing worse than misspelling someone's name. It can set a bad tone right from the start. Have you ever had any awkward experiences with greetings, Alex?
Yes. I once sent an email to a colleague named Michael, but I accidentally wrote Michael. He pointed it out, and while it was a small mistake, it was a bit embarrassing.
It happens to the best of us. Double-checking the spelling of names can save you from such situations. Now, on to the main part, the body of the email.
Segment 3. Crafting the body.
This is where you convey your main message. The key here is to be clear and concise.
Right. Start with a brief introduction if necessary. Then get straight to the point. Use short paragraphs and bullet points if needed to make it easier to read.
And be mindful of your tone. In a professional email, you want to be polite and direct without being too casual. Have you noticed any common mistakes people make in the body of their emails?
Yes. One common mistake is being too wordy. People often include unnecessary details that make the email long and difficult to read.
Another mistake is not being clear about the action you want the recipient to take. Always specify what you need from them.
Exactly. Also, remember to stay on topic. If you have multiple points to cover, consider breaking them into separate emails, or clearly distinguish them within the same email.
That's a good point, Alex. It helps in keeping the email organized and the recipient focused. Anything else we should consider?
Yes, using a positive tone, even when delivering negative news, can make a big difference. It helps in maintaining a good relationship with the recipient. Segment 4. The closing and signature.
Once you've written the body of your email, it's time to close it properly. What are some good ways to do this, Alex?
You can use phrases like best regards, sincerely, or thank you. Then sign your name. If it's a professional email, include your contact information and job title if appropriate.
And if there are any attachments, mention them in the closing part, like, please find the attached document for your review.
Yes, it's always a good practice to indicate any attachments so the recipient knows to look for them. Have you had any mishaps with attachments?
I once forgot to attach a document and had to send a follow-up email. It's a common mistake but easily avoidable if you mention the attachment in the email body.
Definitely. Another tip is to attach the document before you start writing the email. That way, you won't forget it.
That's a good strategy. Now let's talk about proofreading.
Segment 5. Proofreading and Final Touches.
Before hitting send, what should we always do, Alex?
Proofread. Check for any spelling or grammatical errors. Make sure the email is clear and that you've included all necessary information.
It's also a good idea to read it out loud to ensure it sounds natural and professional. Have you ever caught any mistakes by reading out loud?
Yes, many times. Sometimes what looks good on screen can sound awkward when spoken. Reading out loud helps catch those issues.
Definitely. Another tip is to use tools like spell checkers and grammar checkers, but don't rely solely on them.
Exactly. And if the email is very important, consider having a colleague review it before you send it. Segment 6. Real-life example.
Let's put it all together with a real-life example. Imagine you're sending an email to schedule a meeting.
Subject: scheduling a team meeting for Friday at 10 a.m. Greeting, dear team. Body: I hope this email finds you well. I am writing to schedule a team meeting to discuss our project's next steps. Details: date, Friday, August 4th. Time, 10 a.m. Location: Conference Room B. Please let me know if this time works for everyone. If not, suggest an alternative time. Closing and signature. Best regards, Alex Johnson, Project Manager, alex.johnson, example.com.
That's a perfect example, Alex. Clear, concise, and polite. Have you had to send a lot of these types of emails?
Yes, scheduling meetings is a big part of my job. Getting the details right is crucial to ensure everyone is on the same page.
Absolutely. And mentioning the alternative time is a great way to keep the conversation moving forward. Now let's try a practice exercise.
Segment 7. Interactive element. Practice exercise.
Now let's do a quick practice exercise. I'll give you a scenario, and you try to write a short email based on what we've discussed. Ready, Alex?
Ready?
Okay, imagine you need to follow up on a job application you submitted last week. How would you write that email?
Here's my attempt. Subject: follow up on job application for marketing manager position. Greeting, dear hiring manager. Body: I hope this email finds you well. I am writing to follow up on my application for the marketing manager position submitted last week. I am very enthusiastic about the opportunity and would appreciate any updates on the application process. Thank you for considering my application. I look forward to hearing from you. Closing and signature. Sincerely, Alex Johnson, alex.johnson, example.com.
Excellent, Alex. That's exactly how to do it. Listeners, give it a try with your own scenarios. It's a great way to practice.
And remember, practice makes perfect. The more you write, the better you'll get at it. Segment 8. Conclusion.
So, to summarize, an effective email in English should have a clear subject line, a proper greeting, a well-structured body, a polite closing, and should always be proofread before sending.
Exactly. With these tips, writing emails in English will become much easier and more effective. Thanks for discussing this with me, Anna.
Thank you, Alex. Happy emailing, everyone.
Closing music and sign off.
You've been listening to the English Hub podcast. Join us next time for more tips and discussions on improving your English skills.
Bye for now.